back. 107, number 107, live with Spry. We're still hold conditioning. My plan for tonight is, if everything goes well, I think tonight might be our last night up on the freezer. I'd like to move her down to the ground. She's moving her feet pretty good. I'd like to get her on the ground, give her another chance to have some confidence back. If you look back in the beginning, we explained why we lift them up, put them up on the elevated whatever, whether it's a tailgate of a truck, a training table, or bench. I'm using 2 freezers. I'm not big on being fancy, so I don't think you need special setups to do this. We happen to use a stringer for stairs. This just works well for me, and we would tether her up to that to start out. So we put them up here because we want to take away that little bit of that confidence and help them focus on us. Now I'm ready to put her on the ground. Pretty close. Not tonight, but I'm going to probably do it tomorrow. So Cole joined in. Hey Cole. Cam Cutters is in. Jerry Sorensen's in. Jeff Trudell. Jeff is in. G Jeff and J Jeff Trudell and Bragg. Kevin's in. Welcome back, Kevin. Chris Borgman. So you guys know the routine. I always ask if you do me a favor and share as we get this thing going. Krista Yisker's in. Mike Clark is in. So welcome, guys. Tonight, I'm gonna go. My goal going into this is, I want to take that antler dummy, that training dummy, and I want her to tighten up a little bit on it. Yesterday she was a little loose with it. I was wiggling it around. It was a little loose in her mouth. Towards the end, I just put a little pressure on and kind of tightened her up. I know we had the question about it. Ballards asked the question about it. John asked the question about it probably a week ago or so, about if it's loose in their mouth, how do we get them tightened up? So I did it yesterday with that training dummy, this one, and I think we got a little bit better by the end. So we're gonna continue with it tonight. Not putting her on the ground yet. My goal will be to do it tomorrow. So I don't know about you guys, but I was recently. This isn't the reason why I'm not doing it, but maybe it's part of the reason. But I'm new to the world of Crocs, and Wyatt Anderson and Chris Smith are probably going to really appreciate this. But I don't know how I've been missing it for so many years. But tonight it's hot here, so I've got shorts on and I've got socks and Crocs, man. And I just can't do it. I can't. The lighting isn't right in here. That's why I'm not going to do it. But I am decked out, so I want Wyatt to know that, and I want Chris to know that, and Megan to know that the Team Crocs are really in full effect right now. So as she settles in here, which she is pretty settled tonight, which I really like. Jeff Trudell, you see, you were in on the Crocs conversation. I knew that would get Jeff going. So as she settles in, I am going to get started. I might just start right out with that training dummy, with that antler shape, and see how she does here. So she settles in. Pretty nice, pretty good position. Not a lot of force to roll it in. The nice part about, the interesting part about the training dummy is there's a lot of different ways for her to pick it up. There's only so many ways to pick up that fire hose bumper. Hold. Hold. And reading her body language right now, she's not super comfortable. Hold. Remember, it's only the second night we've used it. Hold. Taylor's in, Charlie's in. Hold. Appreciate the share. Taylor, Mike Schulte got in. Hold. Hold. Good. Good. Hold. 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 That's it. Now when I push, I want her mouth, her head to actually move. Hold. Hold. She's got to take that a little bit more. So I'm going to be a little bit stern with it. Hold. You can see she really jacks it up now. Sorry, Dad. Hold. 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 Boy, look at that head tip up now. She's going, I won't let it out. Hold. Carol's in, Aaron's in. Carol says she's going to catch up tomorrow. You bet. Carol, I'm going to shoot you a message tomorrow too on those shirts. Hold. Hold. Dead. Very good. Very good. So kind of a rocky little start, to be honest with you. But this shape is different. This shape is a lot harder for her to hold tight. Hold. There, that's good. Hold. 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 So I want her to put enough pressure on it that I can't push it out, but I don't want to develop a dog that chomps or has a hard mouth. So it's really this fine line that I'm trying to push with her. Hold it like you mean it and you're serious, but not so much that you're going to make a mark on it, or you're going to crunch a bird, or you're going to... I don't want a hard mouth, but I don't want such a soft mouth. I had that one dog, Jet, that would come through the brush or timber, and he had such a soft mouth, if it hit a branch or a tree, it would fall out of his mouth. I can't have that either. Hold. 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 See how loose that is? Hold. Good. Dead. I'm going to show you the difference. She's really soft with that in her mouth. I'm going to go right to this. Get the gums out of the way. Hold. I'm going to show you the difference. Hold. See how I'm able to push it? I'm pushing it with pretty good hold right there. Keep it there. I'm putting pretty good pressure on it, enough to turn her neck. But because of the texture of this thing, hold. Hold. She's confused right now because we have not done anything like this. We've not shown and talked about this, figuring out how to get the right amount of pressure on it. Hold. Hold. See, when I can fold it up on itself, that's enough pressure. Now I could tell she is not chomping. There's no indent or anything in that fire hose. Dead. And she's nice and delicate when she releases. But this has a completely different feel to it. It's a lot like that bump, like that wooden dowel. Hold. But it's a funny shape. Hold. So I got to get her to figure out the amount of pressure she should put on this too. Hold. And I'm going to help her. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Very nice. Hold. Hold. That's it. Good girl. Hold. No. Hold. 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 Good. Hold. See how I can get her head start bouncing? That's what I need. So she needs to know that's what I want. Hold. That's when those little goods are timed out at the right moment. Hold. Hold. Very good. Dead. Now I'm getting out of it because that was the best one yet. Okay, so that was really nice. We got some good conversation going on. I'm going to look back at these guys. Like I talk about my cadence and my rhythm with training. I don't want to slow down and break up what we've got going here with Spry and I to start talking to you as much on the questions. So keep the conversation. I think some of you guys are talking to each other. I think Nicole and Jeff have stuff going back and forth. Keep doing that. I'll be able to read back on it. Hold. But that was a great little rep there, and I don't want to break it. I want to build on it. Hold. 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 Oh, very good. Hold. Hold. Keep it up. Her eyes are just real big right now, and she's going, what? I'm not sure. Hold. Hold. There. That's it. Hold. Very good. That's pretty good shoves by me. And she's... Hold. Hold. Very good. Get it up a little bit. Hold. Good. Dead. I want to move on from that. That's perfect. That was real nice. Let's go right to the big one. And I'm going to come back to that antler. Remove this bumper. Good. And you can tell she's just more comfortable with the bumper right now. Hold. Hold. All right, come here. Good girl. She moves nice and quick. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Very good. Move her around. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Here. 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 Good. Sit. Hold. 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 Now I'm gonna make a go back. You go back about a week and you'll see I was doing this stuff. Put a little distance in between it. Put her on an island. Hold. Her head's down right now. Hold. Hold. I want to see if I can't get it up without having to help her. Hold. Hold. That's where I want it. Hold. So her head's down a little more tonight. Hold. Hold. Good girl. Come on. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. I want that chin up. Hold. There. I'm not even going to touch her. I'm just going to get here. Hold. Up a little. Right there. Hold. Good. That's her tail wagging. Good. Hold. Dead. Nice long repetition with this one. Come here. Come on. Come on. Sit. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to put the puppy bumper in. When I say puppy, it doesn't necessarily mean, I like them for puppies. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for puppies. This is about the size of the doves that my pups are retrieving today. So perfect size for that. But I'm just going to keep mixing things up with her. So I don't want her getting into a habit of, I used to have a dog that really had a favorite retrieving bumper, and because it was his favorite, I used it all the time. And then when I would switch to other things, sometimes he wouldn't retrieve them that well. And so what I would do is I would avoid that, and I would just use the bumper that he liked. But guess what? There's moments, and you get into groups and you start doing some stuff, and I was real proud of this dog, and I realized real quickly that my weaknesses were going to be shown, because as soon as there was a bumper out that he didn't like, he blinked on it. That was when I learned about hold conditioning. I had never hold conditioned before that. Hold. So I mix it up. I don't want it to be just one item. Hold. Good. Hold. You can see that looked like I was going to take it. Hold. 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 That's beautiful. Good girl. Dead. Now I'm going to go back to that training dummy, because the last three with these bumpers is real nice. Come here. I want this to be just as good. Sit. Hold. 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 Get that chin up. See how she's setting her, putting that chin down too much for me? Hold. Right there. Hold. Good. The reason I'm so particular about this position, see how she just dropped her chin? No, right there. Hold. The reason I'm so particular about it is because, remember, I want to go to the ground tomorrow. If I go to the ground tomorrow and she's not just about 100% or real close to 100%, and when I mean 100%, I mean like everything. Moving her feet, getting her chin up, holding nice and solid. I come in like I'm going to take it and she doesn't spit it. Hold. Hold. All that stuff. It's loose in her mouth right now. Hold. And her chin's down. Get your chin up, little girl. If she's not perfect, I'm not going to the ground. Because I'll go to the ground and I'll have a lot of issues. Being on the ground is going to be a lot easier for her to make a mistake. She's going to feel a whole lot more comfortable and confident on the ground. Which means she's not going to be necessarily looking to do what I'm asking her to do. Hold. Hold. So I really want to get this good, and I want to be really picky about it. It's a lot like when we do heel work. I'm so picky, I want the right foot moving at the right time. Hold. The reason is because if I can't do heel work, if I can't get her feet to work at my side, I won't be able to get her feet to work at 100 yards. And eventually I want to be able to do it at 100 yards. Well, if I can't get her to hold it right on the freezer, she's not going to hold it right on the ground for me. So she got to get right here first. And before we moved her feet, she had to get it right sitting. And her head just keeps coming down. Hold. 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 Good. Good. That's a good girl. I just want to get a tail wag out of her. Good. Good girl. Good girl. I want you to see her tail, if you can see it. I'm not getting away. And look at her head go down. As soon as I turn away from her, get it up. Hold. Hold. Good. Good. Good girl. Good. Hold. She just flinched her jaw a little bit. Hold. 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 See how loose it is? Too loose. Hold. Hold. Dead. Gotta start over. That went way too long. So I wanted to get out of it and have a little bit of success. That was not good enough. So I don't know what her issue is. She's just not putting the. I think it's an. She's not sure on how much pressure to put on this. Sit. So this is what we're gonna work on. My goal for the balance of this is to get a nice repetition out of this, and then we'll call it. But I gotta get something better than what we've got here. And maybe tomorrow we don't go to the ground. So what? Hold. 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 Good. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. See how loose that is? Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Hold. There. Hold. Hold. Good girl. Hold. Dead. Very nice. Better. Not good enough, but better. Let her move around a little bit. She's a little tense tonight. She started out really cool and calm. She's just a little bit antsy now. She's just got this. You just got this sense about her. I don't know if you can see it or not. She's just not as settled in right now as she usually is, and she should be. Good. Hold. Hold. Be real picky about the chin. Hold. Good. I want this position to be right, but I also want to see her settle. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Look at her chin go up. Good. See it slowly going up? Good. Very good. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. Good. Dead. Very good. Much better. I'd really like to get one more. I'm on the fence of whether or not I go anymore or not. Sit. That one was better. I kind of sensed her settle slightly. She got just a little bit better with her eyes. She's antsy right now, though. I'm going to go for one more. Maybe shouldn't, but hold. 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 One thing I might do is take a step back from her. Hold. I like her position right now. Hold. Hold. I'm going to take a step back and see what her chin does. Good. Hold. Hold. Good. I'm moving a little bit. Hold. Good. Hold. Up a little. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. That is what I don't want. Hold. Very good. Dead. And I'm going to be done with that. So, it's subtle. They're not huge. They're not real glaring. Now I'm going to let her settle. They're not real. It's probably not real easy to see on the camera. It's easier probably for me to see it in her, but just a little off tonight. And so, you know, do we go to the ground tomorrow? I don't know. I won't go to the ground until I can see that we get better with this. But she's just a little fidgety. And what I didn't like was, as soon as I started backing off, or I'd come up to it, her head comes down. Her head comes down. Well, what does the dog got to do in order to spit it out? Head has to come down. So the last thing I'm going to want is that. If you go back a few, she's done it so well, I'm surprised she didn't tonight. But the last few times, one of the things I really like about her is when I say hold, her chin would just, it's not much. Hold. And her little chin would come up just that much, and it would get back to that spot that I liked. So she knows, I think, that spot when I'm using those fire hose bumpers. She just doesn't know the spot right now with the training dummy. And the problem I have with it is because it's a little too loose. She's fidgety. Look at her. Sit down. Sit. So the training continues. We're not necessarily doing hold right now, but we're not going to let her jump down, and I think she wants to right now, and I'm just not going to let her. So I'm going to start scrolling back here and see what we've got, because I said I just had to I had to stop talking to the camera to try to get focused with her. So Aaron Garlock got in, Mike Schulte was in, I was talking then, Carol got in, Jeff is in, David's in, Naomi got in, Nicole got in, and says, I revisited hold today since I've been doing more pointing work with Sadie, and her retrieving has slipped a little. With dummies, she holds nice, and bumpers with wings, she holds, but feathers and especially small birds like quail, she rolls them in her mouth a bit. Any tips? Yeah, I think one thing I read out of that is balancing. You're looking for balance, which is great. You've recognized it. I look for balance. You're going to pointing, and so obviously consequently retrieving and delivery has suffered a bit. I went to retrieving instead of pointing with her, and her steadiness got poor. So I needed to start working and needed to and recognized it and started working on more steadiness with her. So we were throwing more denials and that kind of stuff. So balance, I like what I'm reading out of your message is you're searching for balance. So what I think I would do, Nicole, is depending on what your other training stuff includes, and I don't know that it really even makes a difference, I guess, but if you're having some issues with mouthing, I would do exactly what you're doing. I'd hold condition, but I'd maybe, if you're not struggling with bumpers or feathered bumpers, do it with those birds. Do cold game. So I don't know, frozen birds. You said something about small birds like quail. She rolls them in her mouth. Are they frozen or are they thawed? I'd start out with it frozen, not ice on it. Let it come out of the freezer. it usually has kind of like a frost on it. Let that come off of it, but the body of the bird's going to be solid yet. So it's a lot like a feathered bumper, except it's actually a bird. And so if it's, maybe you're doing that, but I would do that before I'd go to like a fresh killed bird, or you know, one thing I might do with her too is, I think you have access to, maybe you don't still, but if you do have access to live birds, get one in a sock and have her hold a live bird. See what she does with that. But go through it and steady, and just like you're steadying up her pointing, steady up her delivery. Don't go, and so now what you need to do is start to tip the scales back towards your retrieve and delivery. You set that aside and went hard on pointing stuff, steadiness stuff. Now swing the pendulum back a bit, and then swing the pendulum back a bit, and then swing it, and then as you adjust less and less and less, you don't have to move nearly as far. So you're over here, then 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 you're over here. And pretty soon you're moving, you're adjusting, but it's so slight because you're getting good at both. So that's what I would do. When doing hole conditioning, do you not do any retrieving? Correct, Jeffrey Michael. No retrieving. Because you're, and what I really like is my little pup who laid down here. So I didn't even recognize it, but it's been at least 30 seconds. So nice little change there. No retrieving, because when you do hole conditioning, the idea is they cannot spit things out. They cannot run off. They cannot do all these bad habits. They need to just bring it back to you and deliver it. And if we work on it towards taking steps to it, but then we go out and get to the retrieving and the bad habit thing comes back up, it's all for naught. So you have to stop until you're perfect, and then you introduce it back in. Trying to balance the retrieving broom. You better believe it, Jeff. Jeff knows what I'm talking about. When I do a memory with Thor, he'll heal nicely while we're walking to where I'll drop it, but likes to jump at the bumper once in a while when I drop it. What's the best way to deal with this? Sharp correction. I don't want to make it too negative experience. So what I would do is I break down this drill. You're talking about doing trailing memories, dropping bumpers, and you got a dog that's breaking. So what I would do is I'd put dog on remote sit, or I'd put dog on heel, and I'd just pitch bumpers. And then I'd step out and pick them up. So the problem is you have it in heel, you drop the bumper, get it out a little ways, first off. If it's so close that it's hitting him in his feet, that's a little unfair for him at this point. So stretch it out a little bit, get it away, so it's not within reaching distance, it's less temptation, and then slowly work it closer. But I would do that as a drill. Instead of doing the trailing memories, take the trailing memory and break it down into a little mini drill. So I stand right here and I pitch the bumper. And then I go pick it up. And I do it again. Or I take one step, I just heel and I pitch the bumper. And then I pick it up. They're just a bunch of denials, Jeff, is all it is. So the part of the trailing memory that you're having the problem with, focus on it. So replicate that over and over and over again, and then the habit forms. So when you do it, he knows, because you've done it, you magnified the problem and you fixed it. So you might do it 100 times, and he doesn't break on it now. After 100 times, he gets the habit. He goes, I don't break on these anymore. And then you build it into a trailing memory. You build it back into the trailing memory, and now that part of the trailing memory, his memory goes right back, or his habit goes right back to that mini drill that you were doing, and he goes, I don't break anymore. I remember this part because he pounded it into me. So if you're working on a fast break, this is a basketball analogy, but if you're working on pushing the ball and fast breaking with your kids, but every time they turn over from the three-point line into the basket, they always turn it over. They get too excited. So what I would do is take the fast break drill, figure out the part that's not going so well from the three-point line in, and I'd have them make those types of passes until they get really good at it, and then back it up a little bit, and then back it up a little bit, and now run a fast break, and that fast break gets to that point that they used to struggle with, but you've done it so many times and focused exactly on it, that part should probably be a lot better. Dylan got in. Nicole, I have the same issue with mine when it comes to real birds, not frozen versus dummies. So you're talking mouthing. So that's talking fresh killed game or thawed out birds. So incrementally get to that. If they're good with the frozen game, if they're good with bumpers and feathered bumpers, start to thaw them out so that they're not soft like a fresh killed bird, warm bird. Find it in the middle and work your way and go through hold with it. Get it where you can control it. You can't control them mouthing a bird at 30 yards. They want to sit and chomp on it, you can't do anything about it. So do it right here. I can't control my dog's feet at 100 yards if I don't have control of it right here. Well, I can't control their actions with a bird so it starts here up on this table, because I can really control it right here. My timing, it goes back to timing. My timing can be really good right here because I've shrunk all the variables. It's me and her. We're right here. I can see, feel. She can feel, see me. Like it's a real sharp connection. As soon as you start getting a bunch of distance and it kind of fades, there's a lot of static in between there. And so your timing isn't nearly as good. So it's harder to make those corrections. So get it right here before you get on the ground. That's why we're not going on the ground, guys. This isn't right yet. There's a lot of people that would have been to the point with Spry that Spry is right now that would have went to the ground about a week ago. Because they would say, wow, she's really good at this. I got it. I had a person today tell me they have a 7-week-old pup. What should I be working on? And I said, first and foremost, housebreaking. We already got that. You can't. I can't. I don't know anyone who can finish a dog out housebroken at 7 weeks old. So I think, is the dog doing well at 7 weeks old? Probably. I'm sure it is. It's not done. So a lot of people would have said, if I'm to the level where Spry is right now, I'm going to the ground and maybe I'm retrieving with her. She's not ready. And I'm not worried about it, and I don't really care how long it takes. That's a big difference, I think. Maverick does the same thing, Jeff. He nips at the bumper in my hand. Got to get it out of your hand. If I get it too close, and he jumps off sit, and I drop where we're trying to fix this, but I'm not sure how. So first things first, bumper shouldn't be in your hand. This is an easy fix. Get it in your training bag. When I put this, if I walk around, I can't dawdle too long or my battery's going to die again like it did last night, but I'm going to spin this around so you can see this. Huge difference. This is my training bag. Sit down. So she's going to have to see, she's going to have to sit and watch this. Boy, does she want to get down and get excited. We're still training. She's learning, we're training. If my hands are like this and I'm walking a dog on heel, there's nothing for them to grab. You're going to see my socks and Crocs pretty quick here. Sit down. But I need to get a bumper because I'm doing a trailing memory. I can drop it out. If I had it set up better, there's a right way and a wrong way. Put these in your... Wyatt Anderson's the organization freak. He's got these things all lined up like they come out on their own. Mine's a little messier. But if I'm going to do a trailing memory, stop. If I'm going to do a trailing memory with my dog right now and I'm holding onto a bumper, guess where she is? Boy, she's going to be all over it. Especially if I have a dog that is lunging and biting and nipping. Fix that. We got to fix that first probably. But if I don't have it in my hands, there's nothing for them to get at. But I need a bumper. There it is. I got a bumper back. There it goes. So you got to get it out of the way. The other part of it where you say, if I get it too close and he jumps off sit, that's exactly why you need to do the drill that I'm telling Jeff. You just sit right there and you pitch bumpers. And then you walk out and pick them up yourself. When I say pitch them, don't throw them 30 yards. Throw them 3 feet, 4 feet. Take one step, pick it up. And it turns into remote sit, and it turns into building steadiness, and it's all through denials. And eventually, I promise you, if you're consistent with it, eventually the dog goes, this one is not mine. And as soon as they go, this one is not mine, I'm going to just not pay attention to it. I'm not going to, there's no reason for me to. I'm not getting to it. This does not need negative correction. The negative correction is the idea of they're not getting anything. They're getting no reward for their unsteadiness. And as soon as they become steady and quiet and stay where they're supposed to stay, I'll let them retrieve one. Oh my God, that's all I had to do was sit still and steady, and I got to make a retrieve. It's a real easy way. What puppy food do I recommend? We're feeding neutral, Dan. It's a neutral, grain-free is what we feed. I don't know that. I think you got to find the right food for your dog. Different dogs. I think and I don't have the percentages right now. I'll look it up and I'll send you the fat percentages, the proteins and the fats and the carbs and all that stuff. But right now we feed neutral puppy and we feed neutral adult grain-free. That's the best that we've found works best with our dogs as far as their activity, their coats, all that stuff. That's what we found to be the best. Nicole, mine doesn't want to get the bird in far enough to pick it up. We'll pretty much start to pluck the bird. Doves he's a little mouthy with. Doves are real hard with Jeff. Doves are real hard birds for dogs to get started on. The feathers come out too easy and they get in their mouth. And so a pigeon is a lot better. So, and Nicole knows about pigeons. She's gotten some pigeons around here actually. Pigeon is better. So I would use a pigeon over a dove. I would definitely recommend that. And get all that stuff done and get good at it before we're taking these dogs out on the hunt. Because if we're taking these dogs out on the hunt too early, we're going to have a lot of issues because we're just not prepared for it. That's why Ellie is hunting for the first time this year. She had her second birthday on Monday. She turned 2 on Monday. It's her first season of hunting, but boy, she's doing well. And we're not going to have a lot of issues. Brooke Christine got in. When I say we're not going to have a lot of issues, we're going to have a really nice season, is what I mean. Brian Britton, Ron Herring's in, Jeff Trudell. She did look nervous tonight. Breyer joined in. Mark Phelps, good evening. Evening Chase got in late. She's a little bubbly. She was a little bit tonight. You shared it. Thank you, Mark. John Ballard got in. John, you must have heard us. We were talking about you. Good evening, Dogbone family. In late, but I'll catch the beginning. Yeah, we talked about you. Thanks. You gave me an idea of what to do with my one jerk male pigeon. There you go. He's going in a sock next week. Yeah, I think you can sleeve them, and then they're not going to flap their wings. And it's just, there's something about a live bird. Your dog knows, well, especially your dog as a pointer, knows when that bird's alive. They can feel it, they can smell it, they can all sorts of stuff. So that alone might help. Got it, thanks. On the upside, Thor is starting to do much better on retrieving. Beautiful. Dave Weissnick joined in. Jeremy McCarty got in. Nicole, the bag is a huge help when working with the bumpers. Jeff, good, yes. It's a must. I talk about it's the most underrated tool that a trainer uses. It is. And I did a post on it just the other day because I think it's overlooked. You need a bunch of stuff in the field. You don't need it all at once, but you need a bunch of it throughout a lesson. And if you can't get it out of sight and out of mind, you might as well stop because your dog won't be able to focus at all. And you can't do stuff without the right tools. So brand new to the videos, haven't had a chance to go back through. Well, welcome, Nick, with Spry, but I've got a German short-haired pointer that will be back after basic obedience classes when he's 11 to 12 weeks old. I don't know how old Spry is. She looks to be a few months old. She's about 9 months old. But when is a good time to start hold training with my dog Zeke? After teething, after retrieving, so anywhere, usually 6-7 months is when they're wrapping up their teething. I like to go at least a month, maybe longer, depending on if we're running into issues. So that's why we started with her around 8 months. Also, just purchased your Shed Dog DVD, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Awesome. Foundation first. Foundation first, and then more foundation work, Nick. So, you sent your pup off for basic. I'm telling you right now, you can't have a dog through basic obedience at 12 weeks old. Not possible. I think you can get them started, and I think you can start forming good habits. But that's that 7-week-old dog that's housebroken. It might not have had an accident yet, but it's not housebroken. So what we need to do is build the foundation underneath them in order to do the fun stuff in the field. So hold conditioning, about any time after teething. I like to stretch it as far as I can because I don't like doing hold conditioning, but I did it because we were just ready to do it. I struggled with this dog and go back, Nick. I think you'll get a lot out of going back. YouTube is the best way to find them. So go back to YouTube. I think is the easiest way to find like 1 and 2 and 3, and I think we're on 107 tonight. So there's a lot of information there. Don't necessarily look at it like you have to follow it at the same pace and schedule as her. You shouldn't and won't, because she was really slow with certain things and she was really fast with other things. So no two are the same. So Amanda says these videos are great. Thanks for the advice. You bet. I'm going to go before my phone dies here tonight. You guys have a great night. We are not going to go to the ground until I get it right on the freezer. And tonight we just didn't get it right enough. We got it good. We need it great. If you settle for good, you're going to have problems down the road. Some people don't even settle for good. Some people move forward with a lot less. So be patient. Be patient, and then be patient. I got some news coming too. We're going to do some stuff for all you people that are trackers, and if you're watching this later and you're a tracker, we've got something coming up that's going to be pretty exciting. It's something that we're going to get you guys involved in. It's an opportunity to kind of join more into what we're doing with Dogbone. So if you are a tracker, if you have trained, the reason we're doing it is because I want to show, not me training dogs, I want to show how many of you have had success training tracking. I think tracking is one of the easiest things to do with your dogs. It's very natural. We just bring it out of them. Most people can get retrieves out of their retrievers because they retrieve naturally. Most people, if not all people, can get tracking out of their dogs because tracking comes naturally. So that's a project that we're going to bring to you. Keep an eye out for it. I'm putting together some of the details on it, but my hope is to get involvement from anyone and everyone who has used any of our stuff and had some success tracking. And the objective is for all those that are thinking, I'm hesitant to, I'm not sure, boy, he's a trainer, I don't know that I can do it. I see he did it, but I don't know. No, we're going to get a million people, not a million, but I want to make it a million, a bunch of people that have had success doing it. We're going to get them involved to be able to help those that are on the fence. Bow season opens on Saturday. You know how many deer are going to get lost or wasted this year because they weren't recovered? And it's I'm not blaming anybody. It's nobody's fault. But this dog right here is the best conservation tool out there. Your dog is the best conservation tool you own. And what my goal is to try to get you guys to have the confidence to put in a little bit of work. It's not going to come without any work, but a little bit of work, a lot of return. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have that hopefully buttoned up here. Tomorrow's Friday already, so maybe by the end of this week yet. But if not, it'll be first thing Monday. But keep an eye on that. I'm going to die. My battery's going to die. You guys have a great night, and we'll talk soon.